All right. Hey, John, it's Bruce, Awesome Arcades. Not in my garage. I've got a cabinet here. So I'm going to read your email. I'm going to answer your questions, and I'm going to kind of show you some things. I think it'll clear things up. Give me a second here. I'm just opening up my other phone. All right. So got your email open here. Say, hey, Bruce, I have a couple of questions regarding the Deluxe Classic Cocktail. First question is on the monitor size. I see it referred to as 24 and 26. So I understand that's a bit confusing. I used to do 24. 24-inch monitor was the size. I upgraded to 26, but I still had a few of the 24s left in stock. So I was listing the 24s until they all sold out, and then I was just gonna bump it up to the 26. I have one 24-inch black cabinet left in stock. After that, everything's gonna be 26. And then, of course, also I have the 32. Let's see, is the 26 with the walnut finish case? Yeah, so the only 24 that I have is black. So the walnut that I have is has a 26-inch monitor. Second question regarding vertical and horizontal playing capabilities. I understand how the Deluxe monitor can physically be changed from vertical to horizontal within the top of the console, but short of physically, okay, let's start with that. So first of all, it's kind of a glare because there's glass on the top of this, but this is a cocktail table here, and this is a computer monitor. If you were to take this computer monitor and put it on your desk, this is how it would be sitting, right? So this is a landscape orientation. So when you type, the data comes here. So to play classic 80s games, basically we've taken this monitor that sits on your desk and we've rotated it 90 degrees so that it sits in a portrait orientation. So if you try to play a movie on this, it would appear, this is how it would appear, like Star Wars, right? Now, the top of the lid has been cut out so that the monitor can accommodate the insertion, or the lid can accommodate the insertion of the monitor, which is a rectangle. On the 24-inch, there was enough room so that I could actually cut this wood. I cut it out in a rectangle here, and then I notched it here and here. So, you know, it looks like a plus sign, like a four-leaf clover, right? Now, that's only on the 24, so that you could physically remove the monitor and manually rotate it from portrait to landscape and then reinsert it if you wanted to. You can't do that on the 26 or the 32, okay? It doesn't fit. The monitor is too big. It's too long this way. So that is not an option. Only on the 124 that's black that I have left in stock can you do that. Now, let me read your email. It was a little confusing for me, so I'm trying to kind of follow your logic. Give me 1 second here. Short of physically changing the monitor orientation, can you still play horizontal games with the monitor remaining in the vertical position? No, you can't. So if you try to load vertical, so if you try to put a horizontal game on here, it's going to appear sideways. And there's no way, I mean, in theory, you could sit here and use the joystick, but the action is going to be moving like Mario Brothers. Mario is going to run from here over to here, and you're on the side of the screen. What you really need is, for that type of functionality, you need my Ultimate Cocktail Table. So what my Ultimate Cocktail Table does is it has joysticks on the north and south side, and then on this side, there's a panel with two joysticks side by side, and that allows you, with the push of a button, you can flip the orientation from Pac-Man. The screen will flip over, and then it'll play all your side-scroll games like Super Mario Brothers, and then there's a joystick here, and that allows you to play the horizontal games. Now, on that 124-inch cabinet that I have left in stock, if you flip the monitor, then yes, you could sit here and play the horizontal games. Some of them. Any games that require more than 2 buttons or 3 action buttons are not going to be playable, obviously, because the Deluxe Cocktail Table only has 3 buttons. I'm kind of getting in the weeds, but okay, I hope that makes sense. Let me just keep reading your email here. So you say, I understand how the Deluxe monitor can be physically changed from the vertical to the horizontal within the top of the console. But short of physically changing the monitor orientation, Do I understand correctly that you can still play horizontal games with the monitor remaining in the vertical position? In other words, does the A-B switch that you refer to allow horizontal games like Mario to be played without changing the monitor position? Not on the Deluxe Cocktail. On the Ultimate Cocktail, but not the Deluxe. The Deluxe only has 2 joysticks, so maybe you're talking about the Ultimate, and that's the confusion. I'm not sure. Well, no, because you mentioned the 24-inch monitor. So let's see. Not sure I understand how a horizontal game will appear with the screen remaining in the vertical. It won't. It'll appear sideways. So it's not. You can't play horizontal games on this vertical cabinet without turning the monitor. Yeah, if you plug in horizontal games, they're going to appear sideways. So, okay, my wife and I are in our 70s and 80s. We played a good share of Pac-Man. Vertical games are of interest to us, but the grandkids would be, believe, interested in many of the games on the 412 card. Oh, here we go. Unfortunately, I'm not able to spend for the Ultimate. Okay, I get it. But I would like to get the best possible setup within the Deluxe console. I'm also considering $300 for the 32-inch. I mean, if you're going to get the 32-inch and spend the $300, you're really close to the Ultimate. And I could work with you a little bit on the Ultimate, depending on where you're shipping to and what the shipping cost would be. But if you're looking at the Deluxe with the 32-inch, I could get you the Ultimate with the 26-inch for pretty close. You know, maybe within like $200-300 or less. So, okay. You said, I'm considering the $300 for the 32-inch, but I still have some questions regarding the vertical and horizontal appearance of the different games. I'm a little concerned about the length and weight. Sorry for the lengthy email. I do plan on ordering a console. Just want to make sure we get one. Totally understand. It's a big purchase. I get that. Okay, hopefully I've explained things that make sense. Sorry if I didn't. I get it. It's confusing. Whenever I talk about vertical and horizontal games to people, I just hear their brains break. And that's why I love videos, because I can show you. And I said, look, if you just imagine your TV at home, if you took that TV and you just rotated it 90 degrees, that is vertical. Games play up and down. If you rotated it back, that is horizontal. That's why machines can't do both, because vertical games would appear sideways on your regular TV. You know, Pac-Man is going to go sideways unless you turn it so that it's not. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything at all. But yeah, if you tell me where you're shipping to, if you have the ability to pick up the arcade from the terminal using your own vehicle, if you have a Ford or, you know, any kind of pickup or SUV, if you can go to the terminal like at FedEx, they have a forklift. They'll just load it in the back of your vehicle. And if you could do that, it'll really reduce the shipping cost. And then I can work with you on the price of the cabinet to get it very close to the 32-inch. And for what it's worth, the 32-inch is cool. I mean, most people get it. I don't think it's necessary. To me, the 26 is plenty big. You know, you're really close to the action. It's not like people think of TVs and they think about, you know, what you're looking at from across the room. But this isn't across the room. This is like right in front of your face. So I did a 24-inch monitor for years, and people like that. I finally upgraded to 26, and I was very reluctant to go to 32. I never wanted to do it. I just said, what's the point? But I had so many people requesting it, and I was losing so many sales because my competitors were doing it. I finally bit the bullet and did it. But when people ask me, like, what's your honest opinion? I just tell them, I don't think it's necessary. I would not spend the extra money. Now, I would get the Ultimate. And I gotta be honest, whenever I see people buy a Deluxe or the $300, the 32-inch Deluxe, I just think to myself, man, you're so close to the Ultimate. And the Ultimate really does everything. So don't get me wrong, the 80s games are a lot of fun, but those are not games where two people can play at the same time. And your grandkids, as much as they're gonna love games, they don't wanna take turns. They wanna play, like I have a 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3, soon to be 4-year-old. And they love the ability to play with each other. So they do quest games. And on the Ultimate Cocktail, you could actually play with up to 4 people at the same time. And so there's games like Ninja Turtles and The Simpsons where it's a quest game and you can just keep going forever as long as you continue to put in coins. But since it's free, they just hit the start button and then they can sit and play for hours. Whereas a game like Pac-Man, sorry, but Pac-Man's hard. And like my 6-year-old, not happening. Same with Frogger, Galaga. They can get past like maybe level 1 or 2, but they're not getting deep into those games. I can't even get deep into the games, and I'm pretty good at gaming. The bigger cabinet, the Ultimate, has all the sports games. So football, baseball, hockey, basketball, golf. It's got quest games like Zelda and The Simpsons and Ninja Turtles and Gauntlet. You can download and add games for free off the internet. So it'll play every game from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Sega Genesis. You just download those games to a USB stick and plug them in the game card and it'll play them. It'll save your high scores. It's the only one that does that. You can search for games alphabetically. It's the only one that does that. You can create a favorites list with up to 100 games. So all your favorite games are listed first. It's the only board that does that. A lot of other things that it does. It's just the most advanced technology. And honestly, the Ultimate Cocktail is around 85% of my total sales. That said, I understand budget constraints. And if it's out of the budget, I understand. And we'll do what we can to get you the deluxe set up the way that you want. But yeah, I'm going to upload this now and send it over. Thanks.